So today we are going to go local and talk about 7 neighborhoods that are amazing places to live in San Diego. I admit I went a little video heavy the last few weeks on all the real estate market stuff happening right now in San Diego and the rest of the country because it's borderline crazy and fascinating. But it's time to do a few videos on the fun side and get a little bit local. You may or may not have seen my video last year with 5 of my favorite neighborhoods to live in San Diego. Kind of my perspective on best neighborhoods to live in San Diego. I'm gonna do something similar again right now, but I made a few changes, or I should probably say additions. I still love the neighborhoods from the last video. Nobody's getting canceled. I just want to spread the word about a few more awesome places to live in San Diego. So let's get this started with neighborhood number 1, which is going to be Kensington. If you are looking for the type of neighborhood where people always wave to each other, they say hello, watch out for each other, know each other, then Kensington might be the place for you. Every time I go to Kensington, I cannot get over how clean and how quiet it is for the most part. Many of the homes are going to be that red-tiled, white, stucco, Spanish style. I think the neighborhood looks amazing. It also has its own downtown area located off Adams Avenue. Here's the best part. You don't get the traffic some of the other neighborhoods nearby might have because Adams Avenue dead ends in Kensington. It's like its own giant cul-de-sac. Living options are going to be mostly houses for the most case, but not all. There are some condos and some apartments available to rent out or live in as well. So for neighborhood number 2, I picked one that I have been personally spending a ton of time in lately. And this year, it's also the place I usually mention when anyone asks me about like up and coming San Diego neighborhoods. Very common question. It's going to be LEUCADIA. So LEUCADIA is confusing to a lot of people, even a lot of San Diego natives. LEUCADIA is technically part of Encinitas, but it is so distinctly its own neighborhood. It's first and foremost a beach town. It's located right on the coastline. The surf spots here are world class. The shops and restaurants along Coast Highway are going to be incredible. No like big name box types of places. Mostly like locally owned, smaller types of places. So spending time in LEUCADIA and just cruising around in general feels like you're almost somewhere else. You don't feel like you're really in San Diego. I get those kind of tropical Hawaii vibes. It's kind of the way I think it feels. I love it down there. Most options to live here are going to be homes, but there are some apartments and condos available. For neighborhood number 3, let's talk about Little Italy. If you're looking for a place to live that is full of energy, is pretty much the place to be. It's a place to be seen, that type of stuff. Little Italy is going to be for you. India Street and Kettner Avenue are lined with some of the region's best restaurants, shops, ice cream parlors, wine bars. Actually, speaking of ice cream shops, one of the biggest lines of people in the entire Little Italy area is not going to be for a show. It's not going to be for a bar. It's not going to be for a restaurant. The longest line, hands down, 7 days a week, is going to be to get ice cream at Salt and Straw on West State Street in India. Why? It's good. Really good. What's the second longest line, you might be thinking? It's going to be the wait to get on the waiting list for breakfast at Morning Glory. Try them out. Super good. The best part, other than the activity or high levels of activity and energy, is going to be walkability. That's a word we don't use that often in San Diego to describe a neighborhood, but Little Italy is going to be highly walkable. So there's an amazing farmers market as well, twice a week on West State Street, right on the famous Piazza di Famiglia. Living here or living in Little Italy, expect to live in a condo or an apartment, probably. There are a few like homes or houses around, but just a handful. Neighborhood number 4 on my list is going to be La Mesa. It is popular with millennial families, retirees, pretty much has something for everyone. It has great schools. You can have parks for kids, amazing hiking trails, Lake Murray for water sports. Actually, kind of shares Lake Murray with San Carlos. We'll get to that. It has its own very own downtown with amazing shops, restaurants, cafes, everything else in between. So it has a farmer's market each week. It's an older community. Like La Mesa's been there a long time, but it's growing like crazy right now. I actually have a vlog you can check out where I spend the day exploring La Mesa. Actually, for most of the neighborhoods, I have vlogs. So if you want to check any of them out in like detail, see Like all the cool details, just check out my vlog playlist for this channel. So I have a ton of them on there. For living in La Mesa, expect regular homes to be most of the options, but there are a lot of condos and apartments as well. The prices on the condos, like if you're looking to buy a condo, are actually pretty reasonable, like as far as San Diego standards. Neighborhood number 5 on my list is going to be Normal Heights. It's amazing how many times I hear people confuse Normal Heights with North Park, maybe Kensington, or even City Heights. It's its own neighborhood. It has its own strip of restaurants, cafes, bars, salons, all along Adams Avenue, kind of like Kensington. It's right next to Kensington. So Adams Avenue Park is an awesome place to relax or even catch a show since they have their own outdoor amphitheater. If you like Craftsman-style homes or Spanish bungalows, this is going to be your place. Besides like a super convenient location, it's located between 2 major freeways, the 805 and the 15. The walkability factor for Normal Heights is super high. You probably don't need a car all that much. The real estate here tends to be slightly less than its more expensive neighbors, at least for now. So if you're looking at North Park or Kensington, don't forget to include Normal Heights in your search for places to live. I went back and forth on neighborhood number 6 because it's right next door to my pick for number 4, La Mesa, but it's going to be San Carlos. So San Carlos is an amazing little community. It often gets confused with La Mesa because they are right next to each other, but they are not the same. The schools are amazing. There's an awesome family-friendly environment, close proximity to all the hiking trails at Mission Trails and all the recreation available at Lake Murray. Hiking at Mission Trails is amazing, by the way. It's one of my favorite things to do. Give their 5 Peak Challenge a try. So, it's awesome. San Carlos is not as walkable as some of my other picks on this video, but it has the restaurants, the shops, the shopping centers, and everything else you could possibly need. They are just a little more spread out than some of the other neighborhoods. It's also a great location for commuters, very close to the freeway system. The living options here are going to be homes, lots of homes, some condos and some apartments. Most of the homes are like a build year of like the 1950s or 1960s. Some are what you might consider like fixer types, but many have been renovated and kind of refurbished back to their old kind of glory days. So amazing little community, awesome place to live. Drum roll. Okay, not really, but for neighborhood number 7, we're going to talk about Poway. People often think of Poway as being in North San Diego, but it's really not North San Diego. It's located in that area between like North San Diego and East Central San Diego. So not quite north-north. Right around the 15 freeway. So per niche or greatestschools.com, it's going to have great schools or ratings. It's going to have phenomenal shopping centers. It's a very suburban family type of feel. So Poway is incredibly popular. There are parts that feel extremely rural, and you hop in a car, about 2 minutes later, you'll find yourself in modern suburbia in a heartbeat. Also, there's a little kind of a cool fun fact about Poway, and it surprises a lot of people when I tell them this, but there are a lot of professional like athletes, some of the famous celebrities in San Diego live there, even a few famous YouTubers. So if you said Rancho Santa Fe, if you're trying to figure out where those people live, you'd probably be correct. But what a lot of people don't know, like I said, is that a lot of them live in Poway as well. There's a very specific part of Poway where they live. I don't want to spill the beans on here, but if you see me out, ask. Poway also has a huge project coming up called The Farm in Poway. It's getting a ton of attention right now. I think it sounds pretty amazing myself. Poway is very clean. People tend to be very friendly. It's also a very close commute for many of the large companies in San Diego, such as Sony, Qualcomm's up there, Apple. One quick tip, by the way. Poway is considered a severe fire zone for just about all parts. So make sure you're aware of that and take that into consideration when moving to Poway. It's a real thing. Just check your Poway insurance quotes if you don't believe me. All right, so those are going to be 7 of the newest neighborhoods I think would be awesome places to live. I can't include everywhere on these videos, so please feel free to add your favorites to the comments down below, and please tell us why. I want to know, and everyone else does as well. And don't forget to subscribe and smash that like button for me if you found this content useful or entertaining. I'm publishing videos at least once a week, usually more, so check back soon for my next one. If you're looking for your next video, YouTube told me you might like this one right here, so check it out. I don't know about you, YouTube's got me 100% figured out. you might find they have the same for you. Alrighty, have an amazing day, and I will see you on the next one.